All new at 6:30, extremism on the rise in America. As we reported this week, Arizona leads the nation when it comes to seeking out disinformation and extremist violence.
Federal law enforcement has been sounding the alarm about the rise of domestic terrorism. One of the most prominent groups, the Oath Keepers. ABC 15's Zach Crenshaw continuing his in-depth reporting with a look at the group's presence locally.
By now, you've probably heard of them.
Members of the extremist anti-government Oath Keepers were a part of this siege.
The FBI alleges 3 of the Capitol riot leaders were Oath Keepers.
They claim that they have tens of thousands of members. I would say that probably a couple of thousand is more like it.
The militia organization has a notable presence in Arizona, spotted in Prescott last year and January 6th at our state capitol, kitted out and standing guard next to DPS troopers.
They are extremists, and what they are is they are retired and active duty law enforcement and military.
They are much more successful with former military.
Enter Jim Arroyo.
All you military guys out there, I'm former 75th Ranger Regiment.
Arroyo runs the Oath Keepers of Yavapai County.
We're the longest running group that is still there.
He has hours of lectures on Prescott E-News' YouTube page. A lot of time is spent on prepping.
So you're going to need food, water, medical supplies. You're going to need communications, weapons and ammunition.
But stockpiling food or gear doesn't concern extremism experts.
Nothing that makes walking around looking like a failed, SEAL Team 6 commando illegal. Nothing wrong with that.
In fact, the mayor of Prescott said this when asked about the militia group last month.
Those folks mean well. And they're law-abiding.
But federal law enforcement and experts say the Oath Keepers' threat comes from their armed presence at rallies and belief that they're the last line of defense.
Because you're creating an environment in which dangerous things can start happening and people can get carried away.
The term a failure of civility is designed around a complete collapse. All right, at this point, law enforcement has collapsed or stood down.
And that is when Arroyo believes his Oath Keepers will step up.
If you're not highly competent and trained to deal with this type of thing, you don't want to be out there slugging it out with Antifa, because you're either going to get stabbed, shot, burned, run over by a vehicle.
Arroyo, though, lives in rural, very red Yavapai County. And like many extremist groups and even mainstream conservatives, he's obsessed with what he's heard about Antifa, much of it proven by experts to be fear-mongering talking points.
Antifa likes to throw Molotov cocktails, and they like to set things on fire, including themselves. And they're threatening to come in and kill families, burn their houses down, kill their pets. All of this is documented.
In a series of videos from late November, the chapter leader is incredibly alarmist.
World War III, definitely on the table. Things are ramping up with China. We had Congressman Paul Gosar come to our meeting, and we asked him flat out, do you think we're headed for a civil war? And he said flat out, we are in a civil war. We just haven't started shooting at each other yet. So that is about to change.
As the Yavapai chapter stockpiles,
we're getting guns in, but there's not tons of ammo to go with it.
They're also looking to expand.
Now we're branching into, I've got a lecture to go down and do for Maricopa County in the northern Phoenix area. And these are forming up everywhere.
Retired Mesa PD Detective Matt Browning says the military training shouldn't be for everyone.
And then they pass it along to people who haven't been vetted, who haven't been checked for convictions, and they pass along that training and expertise that they have in firearms and entry tactics and in building searches.
The group likes to appear buddy-buddy with law enforcement.
The Oath Keepers security element is designed as just that, a security detachment that can work with law enforcement.
They always respect our law enforcement officers and our sheriff's office.
But already, the Army is starting to ban association with the group.
Overran the Capitol. We're in the Capitol, bro.
And as the rhetoric becomes increasingly militant,
civil wars are the bloodiest and the nastiest and the worst of all wars.
Experts say it's time to take these groups seriously.
Law enforcement needs to police this group because it's their own people.
Now, we reached out to Congressman Gosar's office for comment, asking if he knowingly attended that Oath Keepers meeting, if he reciprocates their support, and if he still believes we're in a civil war. He has yet to comment. Zach Crenshaw, ABC 15, Arizona.